So we should be live. We should be live. Just a quick boxing stream on this fine Monday evening here in the UK. Nothing too crazy. Just, talking good old boxing. This weekend, of course, we have Amir Khan versus Kell Brook. A fight long in the making, long past its sell-by date. But, people are interested, it has to be said. Am I going to buy this fight? More than likely not. Well, definitely not. Will I watch it? Yeah, I'll find a way of watching it. No doubt about it. So, that's the main fight this weekend. Essentially, it's just a cash out. It's just bragging rights, but I'll watch it. I'll watch it. And, man, you guys should be grateful, I was, struggling with time in regards to making a live stream. All day, I've been trawling through tons of mail of females confessing their love to me on Valentine's Day. So I had to get through that. Then I had to get through the DMs of various, risque messages. But I made time for you guys. So big up to yourselves, man. And big up to Unrivaled. Straight away, right off the bat, a €1 super chat contribution. Big up to Unrivaled. Hopefully you're well, bro. I enjoyed your stream earlier. Apologies for not getting on, but I was working. I was in the office, so I couldn't jump on, but I enjoyed it. So big up to Unrivaled. Big up to your old Dar. If Kell gets Khan on the ropes, I'm shouting he tries to thump him, yeah. Boxing, what's up, bro? How are you doing? Dominic Chechery? I'm good, bro. I'm not too bad. Not too bad. Could be better, could be worse. But I can't really complain at the end of the day. I'm fed. I've got a roof over my head. Clothes, shelter, etc. So, I've got to be happy. I'm begging Khan wins. I'm picking Khan. I think Khan wins this fight by stoppage. I really do. I say I really do. I'm not confident. You can't really be confident in this sort of fight, but I'm picking Khan. Yeah, exactly. Only about 200 DMs today. Yeah, I feel your pain, bro. I feel your pain. Exactly, yeah. I appreciate you for fighting off the females with a shitty stick for us. Exactly, bro. Exactly. I'd rather talk boxing. Big up to Punch. Salute. Big up to Q. Q's got Brook by KO. I wouldn't be surprised. It's one of those sort of fights. Both guys are shot to bits. Both guys' punch resistance has completely gone. It could be who lands first, one of those sort of fights. I think it's a 12-round fight, yeah. I'm pretty certain it's a 12-round fight. Big up to Mad Chad. Big up to Bruce Goes. To the old school OGs in the house. Big up to both guys, man. Hopefully you're both keeping well. No, that's one thing. I can't really see this fight going the distance, to be honest. I think somebody gets knocked out. Somebody gets stopped. I've still not watched... I've not watched The Gloves Are Off yet, so I need to see that. But, really, that's the main fight this weekend. Big up to Brandon. Salute. To be honest, I'm so disconnected to boxing at the moment. We just never get the fights we want. Too many cards and too many dodgy decisions. Yeah, I feel you, bro. I feel you. I've not really been uploading as much as I'd like, to be honest. Just because it's not really holding my attention. Not to the extent it used to, at least, boxing. I used to watch anything and everything, like the most random cards in Russia, Germany. But these days, man, I don't know. Boxing's just not delivering. I agree, Falafel man. I agree. 50-50 punch up. That's how I see it, basically. Volts UK, big up to Volts UK. Hopefully you're keeping well, bro. I'm doing good, bro. I'm doing good. Khan points for me. People aren't looking at the fact that Khan has a winning team in Bomac who came with a game plan for Crawford for Brook. So surely he must have a good one. Amir has a gas tank attitude. Altitude, sorry. Yeah, I mean that's interesting. It'll be interesting to see how Amir Khan fights under Bomac. I wonder what game plan they have in store in this fight. Boxing with Kell Brook, I'm not sure Khan's got the discipline, to be honest. I still think Amir Khan should rush Kell Brook, try to fluster him early on, catch him with a single shot, and then jump all over him and try and get the ref to jump in to stop it. Because Kell Brook, I think Kell's punch resistance has completely gone. If Amir can hurt him and then jump on him, I think there's a high possibility that the ref stops the fight, you know, due to the punches in bunches kind of thing. Both Khan and Brook haven't done 12 rounds in like 4 or 5 years. Exactly, bro. Yeah. And also, yeah, it's crazy, really. Amir Khan's not been a world champion since 2011. We're 2022 now. Yeah, it was aired on Sunday. I've not seen it yet. So I need to watch it. Yeah, Jaime Munguia, he's fighting Demetrius Ballard, and yeah, Jorge Linares, he's fighting in Russia against Zawa Abdullayev. That's actually quite a good fight. I'll watch that. That should be on YouTube. I agree, bro. No, I agree in regards to the bad cards. There's a lot of quantity, but there's not really much quality in boxing. That's what it feels like right now. And I'll get back into boxing coverage, don't get me wrong, but right now, like honestly, making YouTube videos in regards to boxing in general is not worth my time. I still do because I love boxing, but I should be a lot more active than I am. I should be a lot more active. But like, you know, it's one of those things. Again, Dominic, I totally agree. I mean, I was forced to see something on the Zone or on the Danny Jacobs card, and I turned it off, man. I turned that shit off. It was so boring and so messy, so dull. Come on, man. I'm convinced most people don't enjoy this shit. I'm talking about content creators. There's one or two who do, but honestly, I'm convinced most of these people are shilling, I'll be honest, when it comes to female boxing. Most people are shilling. They just do it because they think they have to do it. Cover female boxing. That's my opinion. Because again, I've been following the boxing community for quite some time, and there are people now who cover female boxing who did it. They didn't give it the light of day a few years ago, but now all of a sudden they take an interest. I mean, maybe they've been swayed, maybe, but I don't think it's that. Just my opinion. Yeah, he is a live dog against Artur Beterbiev. Yeah, that's good news, though. Artur Beterbiev versus Joe Smith Jr. looking likely for end of June. That's a great fight. I'd be picking Beterbiev, as you can see on my screen, but it's a great fight. Joe's got a puncher's chance. He's a tough man. He's got a great chin. Good gas tank. He's improved. So that's a great fight. Again, we need more of that. Same year old Dart. I would stay up to the crack of dawn for like random ass fights in America, like Chris Arreola versus Adam Kaunaki, those sort of fights. I would stay up for these fights once upon a time, but now, no. I mean, the last time I stayed up for a fight, I think. When was the last time I stayed up for a big fight? Probably Canelo Alvarez, Caleb Plant. No, Wilder Fury third fight. That was the last time I stayed up and watched the fight live. But all of the rest, I just watched on replay. Yeah, that is true, TJ. Shakur versus Valdez. That's a fight I like. I'm interested. I'm picking Shakur, by the way. Yeah, Spence Ugas, I really like. Chocolatito Martinez, I really like. Yeah, there are some good fights coming up. Castano Charlo as well, yep. Big Boys Boxing, he says, good night, Amir. Yeah, if Kell Brook times him, he can easily knock Amir out, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. Potentially, but like even like mid-2000s, I think Kinderland was on the way down because Amir Khan beat him in their rematch in 2005, I believe it was, because they had an amateur rematch in 05, and I'm sure Amir Khan won. I think Kinderland was on the way down then. I think he would have needed to turn pro earlier, in my opinion. Mr. Relax, he's got Brook by KO. Did you like Henry Akinwande? He gets forgot about when people talk about Brit heavyweights. He was a bit of a spoiler, Henry Akinwande. Obviously, he's known for that fight with Lennox Lewis where he got disqualified, but he was quite effective at a certain level. He was decent. Amir Khan's not been a champ for as nearly as long as White's been WBC Mando. Felix Cash low-key lost. Now, I disagree. Again, if you had Madayev winning by a point, I wouldn't call you crazy. But I've seen so many people call that fight a robbery. I totally disagree. So I think, again, my maths might be off right now, but if you gave that fight, let's say you scored 3 rounds to Madayev, plus the knockdowns and the point deduction, let's say you scored that 7 rounds to 3 for Felix Cash, I think that would have been 94-93 to Cash. So for Madayev to win that fight, if my maths is correct, he would need to win 4 rounds. I mean, is it a stretch to say Cash won 7 rounds in that fight? I don't think it is at all. I don't think that fight was a robbery at all, I'll be honest. I think Cash won that fight. And you know me, I'm quick to call out British fucking corruption, but I don't think that fight was a robbery, I'll be honest. I really don't. Again, if you had Madayev winning by a point, fair enough, but it wasn't a robbery. Kell came across very submissive in The Gloves Are Off. That's hardly surprising, Unrivaled. You know what I mean? So I'll have to watch it, bro. I'll have to watch it. Can't lie, I find watching some cards now a chore to do, so I just don't watch I find watching cards now a chore to do, so I just don't watch a lot of them. Yeah, I agree. Like back in the day, I would watch cards just to cover them, and it's like, what's the point? What's the point? So fuck that shit. I won't cover shit I'm not interested in anymore. I won't cover it. You know, so it is what it is. It is what it is. Yeah, Bradley Skeet. Yeah, he got done dirty against Hamza Shiraz. He got done dirty, man. Listen, I won't say all of them are. I'm not going to say that much. I'm sure there are some people who genuinely enjoy it. I won't go that far, but all I'm saying is I've followed this community for a long time, and certain people who never gave that the time of day are now covering that shit quite regularly. So make of that what you will. Make of that what you will. I'm going to die on that sword and say I don't like it. Big up to John Gonzalez. Salute. Big up to John Gonzalez, my favorite Texan. Big up to John, man, every single time. No, I think G-Man enjoys it, and if that is the case, fair enough, bro. I'm not saying anybody's wrong for enjoying it. That's not my point. That's not my point. It's more so like how people have like flip-flopped over the years, man. It feels like it's just forced. It's not natural. It's not organic. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Yeah, smash the thumbs up, indeed. Women's boxing is piss poor, in my opinion. I agree. Yeah, big up to Bruce, man. Bruce is like an OG in the house. When Bruce when Bruce speaks, you listen. He's one of those dudes. Oh, Albanian boxer. He's going to Khan versus Brook this Saturday. Khan beats him. I agree. I'm picking Khan as well. I'm picking Khan. Prime for prime, I would pick Brook without a hesitation. But right now, something's telling me Amir Khan wins this fight, I'll be honest. Me too, Mr. Ash. That was the last time I stayed up for a big fight. Was Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury 3. That was the last time. And I was watching that with friends getting pissed up, so that helped as well. Yes, that's going to be a great fight, man. That's going to be violence. It's going to be drama. That's a great fight. I hope Beterbiev wins, but listen, Joe's got a chance. You can never rule out Joe Smith Jr. I watched so many Polish and Argentinian cards, I developed an accent. I'll be honest, Dominic, even Lomachenko, I never stayed up for it. His last fight, that is. And even Nakatani, I never stayed up for these fights. I watched these fights the next day. I like to wake up on a Sunday morning, download a HD torrent of the fight, and make a cup of tea while it's downloading, and watch the whole event in HD for free with a brew. I don't blame you, bro. That's the best way to go. Sorry, in the future, the new British boxing rivalry will be Boxer and Probellum. Look at how many Olympians Probellum have signed. McCormack twins, Peter McGrail, Boxer signed Clark and Dubois, and they both have Paul. Yeah, they are both making strides, no doubt about it, boxing. But the thing is with Probellum, they don't have a TV deal right now, so we'll see what they do. I keep on hearing this name, not Southcrack, but is it Southpaw 773? I keep on hearing this name, but I've not seen his shit, so there you go. Probellum is just MTK in a business suit. Yeah, pretty much, bro. Pretty much. That's what it seems like anyway. Primark business suit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Kinderland needed to leave Cuba after Sydney 2000. Andy Cruz cannot do the same mistake that Kinderland did. Yeah, but right now, I've not really heard any noise about Andy Cruz turning pro. I've not really heard any noise. So we shall see. I hope he turns pro. He looks for goods. No Kip, he says Brook is going to outbox and stop Khan. Khan will fall in and Kell Brook will counter beautifully KO. You could be right, bro. Again, like prime for prime, I would pick Kell Brook 7 days a week, twice on Sunday. But now, to me, it's down to who is more shot, for one, and the weight. The weight definitely favours Amir Khan. It's a 149 catch weight with a rehydration clause. That's designed to favour Khan. There's no doubt about that. And yeah, I mean, I've got a little feeling that Khan wins this fight now. I'm not confident, but just my feeling, just my assumption, just my gut feeling. Yeah, exactly, bro. That Felix Cash fight was similar to the Wilder Fury 1 fight. Fury down twice, but still should have won. That's how I see it as well. I felt Felix Cash won the vast majority of those rounds, and I felt he won that fight, to be honest. And again, I'm apparently like a fucking anti-British fight fan. I hate British fighters, but I genuinely felt Felix Cash won that fight. Top rank, I would say. I would say top rank in regards to matchmaking, development, etc. I would say top rank. Because he would turn pro in and around lightweight. So yeah, I would say top rank. Can we all take a minute to hate on Josh Warrington? Yeah, hopefully Kiko Martinez puts that guy into orbit. Clown. Listen, man, Josh Warrington, again, he's one of those guys. I gave him all of the respect in the world when he was on his run. He was doing good things. He was fighting good fighters. But as soon as that Galahad situation came up, he avoided Galahad in that rematch, vacated his title, got smashed against a cherry pick, and then bottled his way out of a rematch where he headbutted. And then after that, he gets a title shot for the title he vacated. It's embarrassing, man. That situation's embarrassing. How nobody's grilled Eddie Hearn on that, I don't know. I don't know. But, you know, apparently Eddie Hearn gets an easy ride. Sorry, Eddie Hearn gets a hard ride in the media, apparently. Bullshit. Bullshit, does he? All of these guys get an easy ride, let's be honest. What was more of a robbery? Marku versus Jamie or Martinez versus Hatton? I would say Martinez Hatton, but yeah, the Marku fight was bad. He clearly won that fight. Clearly won that fight. Exactly, bro. I don't care whether it's Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano or a top quality men's fight. People are going to watch the men's fight, whether they admit it or not. Whether they admit it or not, they can paint it up to be a certain standard, but they all know what they would watch. If they had to choose one at the time, most people would pick the elite male fight. That's the reality. And really, I'm not against women boxing. I'm not like I'm not coming at it from that point of view. My point is, this whole push for female boxing feels just like a push. It's not organic. It's not. It feels like it's purely by design. It's to suit a certain narrative and to get PC points. Basically, that's what it seems like. That's what it seems like. Because again, I can only go by real world experiences. And when a female fight comes on a card, let's say I'm around a friend's house, we got some lads together, we're watching a pay-per-view, and a female fight comes on, everybody moans. Everybody moans. Even females who I've watched boxing with moan when a female's fighting. Honestly, does the casual fan really want to see it? No. Let's be honest. It's about as artificial as housing prices right now. It's completely inflated. It's bullshit. It's a mirage. It's bullshit, in my opinion. Absolutely not. No, he's got a lot of work, Johnny Fisher. He looked awful in his last fight. Absolutely awful. He seems like a nice kid, but it has to be said, he looked terrible. I know Nguema was a step up, and he is a good journeyman. He can survive, but he looked pretty poor. He's got a long way to go, and putting so much pressure on him early, I don't think it's going to suit him well. I really don't. He's got a lot of pressure on him for a guy with very little amateur background. So I think they need to take their time, give him a couple of away days in Spain, in Italy, under the radar, that sort of thing. That's what they need. Honestly, that's what they need to do with Johnny Fisher. A couple of low-profile fights, not in the UK. It's hard to say. Like, Ben Shalom seems pretty quiet, but right now, he seems to be getting shit done, to be honest. I quite like him, Ben Shalom. I quite like him. I see a lot of people criticizing him, but it's just the start. He's turned that small company into something. He's got a Sky deal now, so we'll see what he does. But he's made a good start. Eubank Williams on regular Sky was a good look. I know the fight wasn't great, but on paper, it was a really good regular main event. He's made Brook versus Khan for whatever that's worth. People are still interested. So Ben Shalom's made a good start. He signed a couple of Olympians as well. So we'll see with Ben. As for Frank Smith, I mean, like, Frank Smith is all... I can't see that guy being the face of Matchroom. I really can't. Give me the job. I could sell the shit out of that. Fucking Frank Smith. Jesus. Yeah, Andy Cruz looks great, bro. Andy Cruz looks great. I wish he would. I wish he would turn pro. That's not to say he would be a guaranteed success in the pros. As we know, we've seen some great amateurs turn over, and they never really panned out. So Andy Cruz, I mean, he's a great amateur, but hopefully he turns pro. To be fair, though, the smaller weight classes are actually quite good, though. Like, the smaller weight classes are good. Like, there was a narrative back in the day that there's no knockouts. There's a lot of knockouts in the lower weight classes. You can argue the skill level's better, punch output's better. The lower weight classes right now is really where it's at in boxing. Like, sort of flyweight, super flyweight. That's where it's at right now. The Gad. We've got the Gad in the house. I like the picture as well. Amir Khan stops Brook. I agree. Tom's feeling Khan as well. Damn, South Crack 773's going in on Southpaw. I've not seen this Southpaw's channel before, so I would need to judge for myself. I can't help but think that Kel's back with I can't help but think Kel back with Dom Ingle will help. Khan is on his 5th trainer, and I can't see him messing with Bomac, to be honest. Yeah, you never know. To me, it's 50-50. But I'm picking Khan. Ryder versus Plants. I would say Caleb Plants in a competitive points win. I would say Caleb Plant. Evening Del and chat. I'm leaning towards Khan for the win this weekend. I think he's going to run around doing the bare minimum, and I think he'll nick the win. I think this fight ends early, the Londoner in the sticks. I think it ends early. I think somebody's getting knocked out. Both guys, their chins have gone. Their punch resistance has gone. Kell Brook is drained at that weight. So somebody's getting knocked out, in my opinion. Somebody's getting knocked out. I can't see it going the distance the more I think about it. Yeah, he's gone to Sky now, yeah. He signed with Sky. 100%. I guess he realised he's not going to get the Conor Benn fight, so go to Sky. He's going to get more building there at Sky. He's going to get, more of a push, I would imagine. Big up to Toti. Salute. Yeah, man, BDA. BDA is a great podcast. The only boxing podcasts I listen to are BDA or Boxing Asylum. That is it. One of those 2 podcasts, and that's all I listen to in regards to boxing. There's a lot of podcasts out there, but they are the 2 I prefer, BDA and Boxing Asylum, because they don't take themselves too seriously. There's banter, there's back and forths. It's like pub talk kind of thing. None of this like formulaic bullshit. Well, Amir Khan's fighting Kell Brook this weekend. What do you guys think? There's none of that. It's like proper boxing discussion. There's some banter, some laughs. That's what I want to hear from a podcast. Not fucking some formulaic bullshit. If I wanted to hear that, I'd listen to Sky Sports or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, the undercard. I'll be honest, bro. I disagree. I think the undercard looks pretty shit for Khan Brook. Considering it's a pay-per-view, I think it looks pretty shit. But yeah, Vidal Riley's on the undercard, good prospect. Bradley Ree's in a good fight, actually. Adam Azim, I like him. I saw him a year ago, I think, on an MTK card, and he impressed me. But yeah, there's some good prospects, but they're not really in good fights, kind of thing. Southpaw 773 was getting torn to pieces on IBFP stream late on Friday night. The guy just comes across like an angry racist cokehead who struggles to deal with facts or articulating his opinions. Sounds like 95% of the boxing community, Londoner in the sticks. That's what it sounds like, bro. Like there are good channels out there, like G-Man Unrivaled. So G-Man Boxing Unrivaled, Nordic Warrior, BDA Boxing, Boxing Asylum, and I'm missing a few as well. There are great channels out there, but the problem is, like the majority of boxing channels, and Hatman's another one I like, but the majority of boxing channels, like they rely on drama, back and forths, shilling for certain fighters or promoters, pushing a certain narrative, pushing a certain angle, and yeah, I mean it's kind of discouraging at times, but what can you do? What can you do? But the boxing community has a habit of attracting toxic fucking people. Toxic fucking people. And just like downright lunatics, quite frankly, from what I've seen. Come to Chicago and box me. uh, Marky joined Boxer. That's a good move. Yep. Yeah, Kelly, Congo, and looks like he'll be fighting English champion Samuel and Tweedale. Have you seen Stephen McKenna? If so, do you think he beats Marku? Yeah, I mean, in regards to those fights, I'd like to see Marku versus Congo, Antwi. They are great fights, but in regards to Stephen McKenna, I've seen a lot of hype, and I have seen him fight. Seeing him fight, I don't see the hype. I'll be honest. He's decent. I'm not saying he's terrible or anything like that, but I've seen people talking about this guy like he's a future world champion. I don't see it. He's decent. He could be involved in some good domestic scraps, but yeah, I mean, he's okay. He is what he is, really. He's got an exciting style. Yeah, Warrington's utter cringe. Yeah. Did you see Josh Warrington's hair the other day at that press conference? Let's have a look. I'll try and find it and put it on the picture. He looked like a fucking idiot. Have a look at this guy. He looked like Larry Christmas from Dumb and Dumber. I need to find this fucking picture, man. He looked like such a dweeb. I can't find it. I can't find it, but it is what it is. Fucking hell, look at this guy. Let's have a look. 1 second. Let's get rid of that. Delete that one. Put this back up. I think this is the one. I hope it's the right fucking picture. Okay, look at his hair. This guy's hair, man. Jesus Christ. Kiko's going to spark Josh Warrington. I hope so, man. I hope so. Yeah, clearly on the juice. Facts. Facts. Yeah, Josh is ducking Lara. He needs to see Lara again, man. He needs to fight Lara again. Yeah, Kamil Sakalovsky, he's fighting Bakadir Jalalov next. I think he's going to get knocked out in that fight. He doesn't usually get knocked out, but I think he will in that one. Big up to E-Machines. Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Steven Schneider. I couldn't agree more. A-Blacks. Now, this is interesting. Mike Costello is a crap commentator. They should have got the Black Skellington. I like the Black Skellington. Ronald McIntosh, I really like him, actually. I think he's a great commentator. But I have to say, I don't hate Mike Costello. Most people I see hate the guy, but I quite like his commentary. I don't think it's bad. But that's just me. I've not seen it, your old I saw Frank Warren's single interview with Umar, I think it was. I saw that one, but I've not seen the joint interview. Big up to Colin in the house. Salute. Facts. I like Ade though. I like Ade. He's basically come from YouTube to land a big job. So big up to Ade. Big up to Ade. Hilarious seeing my section at Jacobs versus Ryder thin out after Fisher. Yeah, Fisher's got a lot of fans, so it's not surprising. It's not surprising. In regards to that fight, by the way, Daniel Jacobs and John Ryder, I had Daniel Jacobs winning that fight by a point or two. So as that fight was officiated, I felt that Daniel Jacobs won. Now, a lot of people are calling it a robbery, and I understand why. However, I will add this caveat. In my opinion, you might think I'm wrong, but in my opinion, if the referee officiated that fight as it should have been officiated, he would have docked Daniel Jacobs a couple of points for holding. I felt Daniel Jacobs holding in that fight was excessive, to be honest. And if he did dock points, you could see a way Ryder won that fight. So it's a weird one because people are quick to point out judges, but they never point out referees. I felt the referee did a terrible job in that fight, I'll be honest. Exactly. Al Heyman is based. He doesn't really show female boxing. Big up to Al Heyman. See, that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like, most people here are in agreement. Maybe I've got a based audience. Maybe it's that, but it's not for me personally. It's not for me. It's not for me. Yeah, Fisher's a clown. Honestly, after that last performance, Albanian boxer, I wouldn't put in Johnny Fisher with Kamil Sakalovsky. I would leave it a bit. It's bullshit, bro. It's bullshit. Oh, Taylor versus Serrano is a better fight than Valdez Stevenson. It sold more tickets. I mean, Valdez Stevenson is on ESPN, the biggest sport broadcaster in the USA. I guarantee you, that fight does more viewing figures than Serrano versus Taylor. I guarantee you. We're not going to know because DAZN don't release their numbers, but I guarantee you that fight will do bigger numbers. Valdez versus Stevenson. Like, let's say like that's going to crack 1 million. Do DAZN even have 1 million subscribers in the USA? Who the fuck knows? He's a nice kid. He's a nice kiddie machines. Don't get me wrong. I think he's far more genuine than Dave Allen, for example. But let's not get away from the fact he's a raw novice, and he's being sold as a character. So it's basically Dave Allen 2.0, but like I do like Johnny Fisher more. I think he's a genuine guy, but he's not good. He is young. He doesn't have much amateur background, that has to be said, but he needs to learn his trade. I think he needs a couple of fights away from the big crowds, maybe away from home, Spain, Italy, get a couple fights out there on those low-level DAZN cards, and maybe in 2 or 3 fights come back and fight on a big card again. Just my opinion. I don't think Sakalovsky would KO Fisher, but I think he could beat him on points. Gorman would beat him, absolutely. Adelaide, I'd lean towards Adelaide as well, to be honest. I'm going, believe it or not, Toti, I'm going Khan. I think Kell Brook is done. Amir Khan's done as well, but I think Brook could be more done. Both guys are shot, so, and there's a rehydration clause which affects Kell Brook, so I'm going to go Amir Khan. Yeah, Fisher was very bad, far too raw, surrendered a lot of centre ground, poor shot selection, silly to have him second to last fight, tomato cans area title for the next year or two, I agree. Like, his right hand is awful, Johnny Fisher, telegraphed, looping. I mean, Stevie Wonder could see that shot coming. He's got a lot to work on, Johnny Fisher. Yeah, Warrington is ducking Lara 100%. How him and her haven't been pulled on that is baffling. Same principle goes for AJ the role model, Golden Boy, not being pulled up for looking up to heroin or crack kingpins. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. The Larry Hoovers, the Nicky Barnes. A Black's not a fan of Ben Shalom. Armchair likes him. I don't mind him, Ben Shalom. No, apparently he's not. Apparently he was raised Catholic. That's what I heard. But apparently not. Okay, so Fisher's manager said that Johnny will be out in European cards fighting away. Apparently, Matchroom are behind with his promise of fights a year, so he's owed a lot of fights. In all seriousness, I think that could be a good thing for him. Just have a few fights abroad on these low-level cards, away from the big crowds. I think that'll do him the world of good. I really do. I think that'll do him the world of good. Frank Smith and Ben Davison are related cousins. Jesus. Yeah, smaller men are still anatomically designed for fighting, yeah. I mean, guys like Roman Gonzalez, for example, name me 5 more entertaining fighters in boxing than Roman Gonzalez. I think you would struggle. Like, that guy, watching that guy is always a joy. Julio Cesar Martinez, another one. Naoya Inoue, another one. There's a lot of really entertaining fighters down there who come to fight, who can knock guys out, who are aggressive. Like, these guys are doing it correct down there. Daenerys, another one. You know, Casemiro. All of these guys, man, down there, they're about it. Felix Alvarado, there's all of these guys. Junto Nakatani. Yeah, man, I agree. I seen that. I liked, again, I wasn't around at the time, but I liked watching his fights back. Prince Nazim. He was entertaining, man. He was entertaining. Oh, God. Yeah, lower weight classes are the best in my opinion. Rest are pussies. Yep, that's what it seems like right now. That's what it seems like right now. Midnight Rider, do you think that Dillian White is worth a small punt to shock us all and beat the Gypsy King? Tempted to put a fiver on the body snatcher straight win. I mean, listen, I'm backing Tyson Fury. Taller, longer, more experienced, better boxer. We've seen him deal with adversity. Tyson Fury should win that fight. Like, skill for skill, he's levels above Dillian White. But it's heavyweight boxing. Shit happens. Hashim Rahman knocked out Lennox Lewis. Oliver McCall knocked out Lennox Lewis. Buster Douglas knocked out Mike Tyson. I mean, if Dillian White knocked out Tyson Fury, I'd be surprised. But would I be, like, breathtakingly shocked? Probably not, to be honest. So is it worth a fiver? Why not? Why the fuck not? Scared money doesn't make money. Fuck it, go for it. Yeah, he did Lara proper dirty, no doubt about it. Yep, proper dirty. Lara, though, Lara is fighting coming up. He's fighting on I think it's the Roman Gonzalez card. He's on the undercard. Which leads you to believe, why is it Warrington versus Martinez? Why is it not Lara versus Martinez? Why is Warrington getting the title shot? It makes no sense to me. It's an embarrassment. It's an embarrassment. Yeah, I mean, back in the day, like a couple of years ago, when Warrington had a fight booked, there was so much excitement. You could see that on social media, but nobody's talking about this fight with Martinez. Nobody's talking about it. So I do wonder how it sells. Like your old Dar said, it's basically MTK with a suit on. It's basically MTK Shadow Combat. That's what it is. Big Daniel Kinahan taking over boxing, one fighter at a time. Yeah, Boxing Asylum is by far the best boxing show online. Yeah, it's a great show, man. For me, it's BDA and Boxing Asylum, both joint top. They are the shows I can say I like religiously watch. I've heard a lot about boxing rants, but I've never seen these guys. So I need to check him out. Recognize is great as well. Yes, sir, he's great. But I'm talking about like weekly podcast kind of thing. But Recognize is great. He's got a great channel when he streams. I sniff coke. Big up to yourself. I wouldn't say it's the best, but it's weird. I feel like with boxing, some of the smaller channels are the best channels. Most of the channels with like 10k plus subs are trash. I'll be honest. Most of them are trash. Boxing's a weird sport, though. I've not listened to Steve Kim and Mario Lopez. I tend to avoid like mainstream boxing publications because most of these guys are shills, in my opinion. I know Steve Kim now's left ESPN, so I wouldn't put him in that bracket, but it's just time. I do like Steve Kim, so I'm not painting him in that light. By the way, I'm not calling him a shill. But most mainstream boxing publications are trash, in my opinion. But I'll check it out. I will check it out. Is that on YouTube? Shadow Combat. If it's on YouTube, I'll watch it. Porky's Corner's funny. Yeah, I mean, I had a couple of differences of opinion, let's say, with Porky's Corner, but listen, he's all right. He's got his heart in the right place. He genuinely wants boxing to be better, so fair play to him. And I watch the odd video now and again. I watch the odd video now and again. I just got off on the wrong foot with Porky's Corner. I took out my my angst on him when it was a couple of his fans talking shit. So Porky's Corner's okay, man. And to be fair to him, he's done really, really good work in relation to Gary Sykes, who should be a British Lonsdale belt holder outright, but basically it got robbed from him. So big up to Porky's Corner. He's putting pressure on the British Boxing Board of Control for being cheap little cunts. Montero, I listen to Montero now and again. Again, I'm not saying he's bad or anything, but his podcast format is more professional, which is fair enough. He does it very well. But I like pub talk. I like, back and forth, banter. That's what I like. That's what I want from a boxing podcast. Not like ultra professional, Just my taste. That's my taste. Because like the Boxing Asylum guys, yeah, they have banter, they joke and that, but like their boxing knowledge, especially like Andy, for example, like his boxing knowledge is second to none. Like in particular with like the current scene right now, he can tell you about the lower weight classes up to heavyweight. Andy Patterson, I think it is. He's got a great knowledge on boxing. He knows what he's talking about. So yeah, Boxing Asylum, I rate those guys a lot. Yeah, Noel Givor beat Kalenga this weekend. Yep, back in the mix at cruiserweight. Boxing Squad's another one I really like, actually. Like, he covers the heavyweight division from top to bottom, from like the Anthony Joshuas, the Tyson Furies, all of the way down to the lower level prospects that nobody talks about. Boxing Squared's another great channel. And by the way, he's a really nice guy as well. Really nice guy. I've corresponded with him a couple of times just in DMs and that. Real nice guy. Real nice guy. You know, when you look at the boxing community, it does attract a lot of dross, a lot of scumbags, quite frankly, but he is a top-notch dude. Top-notch guy. Can't say anything bad about Boxing Squared. Mario Lopez is a moron shill. He interrupts Kim way too much as well. Makes the podcast unwatchable. I like him though. Okay, see, that's what I'm talking about, Steven Schneider. Like, Mario Lopez is still ingrained into, like, the boxing community. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying about these professional-type podcasts. Not my style. Yeah, Hatman gets far too much stick when it comes to YouTube boxing. And his Patreon is so much better as well than his channel. His channel's really good, but his Patreon is really good. American boxing channels are the worst, very low quality. Do I watch any American boxing channels? Do I watch any American boxing channels? I like Corey Lee, but he doesn't really upload all that much. I don't really watch many American boxing channels, to be honest. Chris Andre's another great channel. No, yeah, Chris Andre's great. He's got a great channel. Like, there's always, yeah. I've got my go-to guys, and Chris Andre's one of them. He's got a great channel. He always has, like, the best analogies as well. Yeah, the boxing community is full of lugheads. Yeah, bro, I don't understand. Yeah, I understand getting, like, upset at robberies and shit like that. That's different. But, like, half of these guys, man, like, every other video is them getting triggered about something in boxing, something somebody said or somebody's take they don't like, and they get upset. Like, have you not been in on the planet in the last 24 months? There's far more pressing things to be getting worried about than fucking some cunt's boxing take. It's crazy. Yeah, the YTBC definitely has a lot of pieces of work, no doubt about it. Yeah, Warrington gets all of the brasses with hair like that. Facts. I would favour Congo as well, but it's a good fight. It's a good fight. Yeah, Warrington looks like a Make-A-Wish kid meeting his idol, Eddie Hearn. Bro, I had that fucking Cheeky Blinders fade for a little bit, and I looked pretty fucking snazzy, bro. I looked decent with that fade, that Tommy Shelby fade. I looked pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, that mid-90s look, that fucking Larry Christmas look. Big up to Felipe. Big up to Felipe every single time. I'm actually quite amped for Khan versus Brook. I'm not going to pay for it, but I will watch it. I will watch it. I'd be lying to you guys if I said I wasn't interested, but I would have paid for it a few years ago. I would say Warrington. I would say Warrington. Yeah, he looks like a clown. I'll be honest, I don't really watch Ring IQ, to be honest. Now and again, I watch Ring IQ. But yeah, Boxing Beats and Rhymes, Chris Andre, Ultra Tech, I all like. I would put Ade's channel in there too, but he seems to be losing impartiality and becoming a DAZN company man. I mean, To be honest, again, Ade is somebody I watch very infrequently, so I can't really comment on that. But I remember. Can't talk. I've had a few drinks. I recall Ade on the Box Talk channel. Yeah, it was Box Talk with Ryan and Ade. That was a great channel back in the day. That was a great channel. Bro, it sounds like I'm slating half of the YTBC right now. I think that Lara had a deal that he fought on the zone until he lost. Okay, that's interesting, your old Dar. That's interesting. I wonder whether they're going to feed into a guy maybe on like short notice in a bit of a setup fight then, if that's the case. Oh, the White Skellington. The closest is the ugly promoter. What's his name? What's the dude's name? Craig Poxton. Yeah, I mean, Anthony Yard right now, he's in a great position. He's just beat Lyndon Arthur. He's number one in the WBO, and from what Frank said, he's in line to fight the winner of Baturbi Evans Smith. So Yard's in a great position. To be fair to Frank Warren, he's done a great job. He's done a great job with Anthony Yard. Barely any amateur background, and he's going to get him a second title shot. And Joshua Buatsi hasn't had one yet, with an Olympic bronze medal. Yeah, that's fair. That is fair, actually. Ade is he's very articulate. He doesn't just say something without necessarily backing it up with a piece of something to support his opinion. But again, Ade is not somebody I listen to like on the regular. Like it's like now and again for me with Ade. I don't know. I just have an aversion to people who work in boxing. I know that sounds a bit fucking uppity, but we know how boxing is. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Warrington looks like he's in Biker Grove. Yeah, fucking 90s shit. I had it 7-5 rider. To be fair, on the night watched it back, and I'm now 6-6. Agree on the excessive clinching. Gasses too badly. Yeah. Nobody really brought that up though. The excessive clinching. I felt it was excessive. Danny Jacobs in that fight. I felt Danny looked really sharp in the first sort of 5-6 rounds. His jab looked on point. He was better from the southpaw stance. He was catching John Ryder with some good straight right hands. He was looking quite sharp early on, but he just fell off a cliff after round 6. He fell off a cliff. You know? I'm still not sure, Jimbo, with Roy Jones Jr. Honestly, Chris Eubank Jr. before Roy Jones, I mean, I think he would have stopped Liam Williams. I think he would have put it on him and stopped him. I'm not sure. I think it seems like Roy, I understand what they're trying to do with Chris Eubank Jr., but it seems like Roy's coaching the tenacity out of Eubank Jr. Those multi-punch combinations, those bursts of explosiveness, which is what made Chris Eubank Jr. the fighter he was. That seems to be being coached out of Eubank, and I'm not sure that's going to work at world level. I felt for a long time that Chris Eubank Jr. should be more of a pressure fighter because he does have a pretty good work rate. His combinations are pretty good, pretty quick, good up close. I think Chris Eubank Jr. should have been trained to be a pressure fighter. Whether that's coming in low, behind a high guard, I don't know. But I think Chris Eubank Jr. should have really been more of an aggressive fighter. This whole boxing thing, I'm not sure is going to work. Like, the Eubank Jr. I saw against Liam Williams, I think he'd get dog walked by Golovkin even now. I think he'd get dog walked. Women's boxing is for woke warriors and lads who want to get pegged by their missus. You might be onto something. It's better than. It's definitely better than boxing. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that much. Female UFC is better than female boxing easily. Big up Del Monday in Fight Week really gets me up for fights I was critical of. I know what you mean, Mike. I know what you mean. Like Amir Khan, Kell Brook, I wasn't really feeling it, but now it's nearly here. I'll watch it, man. I'll watch it. Johnny Fisher versus Dave Allen. I mean, you'd have to get Dave Allen. You'd have to go with Dave Allen right now, to be honest. I no longer express my views on women's boxing because I keep on getting censored. Yeah, I know what you're saying. And you know, people will try and label you a certain way, misogynist or whatever. They'll try and paint, you know, create some narrative about you. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. I hope so, Ovi. I hope so, bro. I mean, it seems like right now he's courting himself to the highest bidder. Whether that's Devin Haney, Lomachenko, Ryan Garcia, that's what it seems like. He's trying to get the highest purse for the biggest fight possible. I've got a feeling it's going to be Lomachenko. I don't really care what happens, like I said. As long as it's Lomachenko, Devin Haney, or Ryan Garcia, I mean, I like all of those fights. So I'm not really going to complain if he fights one of those guys. I heard from somebody who works at the Zone HQ in Leeds that the Zone UK have not hit 100k monthly subs yet. He said they have 5 million monthly subs worldwide. Don't know how true it is, but he's a programmer for them. Interesting. That's boxing for you, though. That's like the average boxing fan for you. Again, like, I'm not going to say what I'll say, but you know, most of these people, man, they aren't on our level. They're not on our level. Just not even as boxing fans, but just as people in general. Most of these guys are fucking clowns. I've seen how like guys have reacted in the last 24 months in relation to what's happened in the world. And honestly, most of these guys are not for me, man. Yeah, Eddie Hearn gives it all the big talk about his $1 billion budget, but keeps losing purse bids to British level promoters. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Like, I don't get why this Devin Haney situation is such a big deal. I mean, I would imagine Eddie can blow all of these guys out of the water to get Kambosos over, to get that fight on. But it seems to be harder to achieve than what he's saying. So we shall see. If Eddie Hearn fumbles that fight, if he fumbles that Kambosos Haney fight, and DAZN fumble that Canelo deal, somebody needs to check on Eddie Hearn because he's been taking L after L after L. He's been taking so many L's. I wonder now whether he's regretting this DAZN deal. Because Sky wasn't perfect, but he knew where his bread was buttered with Sky. He knew he could do his 3 or 4 pay-per-views a year. You know, the advertising was there, the marketing was there with Sky. But DAZN, again, like I know a lot of people, and most people don't know what DAZN is. Most people don't know what DAZN is. That's a reality in the UK. Yeah, exactly, Stephen. Yeah, didn't throw a single straight right that fight. Yeah, exactly. All looping overhands, not a straight punch in those 6 rounds. Reminds me of Huey Fury's right hand. No, apparently he's fucking Catholic. That's how he was raised. I don't really know too much about him, to be honest. But again, apparently he was raised in a Catholic family. Oh, fuck no, Punch. Fuck no. Honestly, John Ryder, he should fight David Morrell. That's who John Ryder should fight. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised with MTK. MTK, Daniel Kinahan, they seem to be getting their fingers everywhere in boxing. Daniel Kinahan might be the most powerful guy in boxing right now. Big Daniel, man, he gets shit done. Yeah, it's been nearly 4 years since Eddie announced Matchroom's 8-year deal with DAZN for $1 billion. If he spent $500 million so far, then that's worse than for PBC when they started. Yeah, see, that's another thing, your old Dar, that pisses me off. When PBC came around, they were spending exorbitant money on a lot of shit fights, let's be honest. And everybody called it out. But nobody is calling out Eddie Hearn for his excessive spending on average fights. We're talking $7 million for Mikey Garcia fighting Jesse Vargas, for example. And you wonder why this guy didn't fight Regis Prograis. If you're getting $7 million to fight Jesse Vargas, what on earth are you going to want to fight Prograis? But, you know, paying the likes of Devin Haney millions and millions of dollars before he's done anything. Tevin Farmer, millions and millions of dollars before he's done anything. And, you know, that sort of, it kills fighters' hunger, in my opinion, when you pay these guys excessively above their market value. It kills these fighters' hunger. We saw that with PBC. We've seen it with DAZN now. But people only criticize Al Heyman for overspending and paying these guys too much for shit fights. And again, it's funny, yeah? Because back in the day, when I was criticizing Al Heyman, oh, you're a hater, you got an agenda. Cool. These same people now who said that are now criticizing Al Heyman. I'm now criticizing Eddie Hearn for the same thing. Oh, you're a hater, you got an agenda. Maybe in 4 years' time, they'll be on my page and criticizing Eddie Hearn like they're criticizing Al Heyman now. I'm telling you, man, these guys are fucking clowns. Absolute clowns. Yep, Johnny Fisher is just the latest Matchroom hype to appeal to the casuals. Coked up gammon. I'm really not convinced. I'm getting sick of being told how many tickets he sold and what uni he went to. Totally agree. But that is the British fucking sport fan in a nutshell. Fucking morons. Let's be honest about it. Yeah, we got passion. We sing at fights, but we are fucking served absolute shit week in, week out. I'm talking about DAZN again. So you're throwing money at the likes of Alan Babish, Johnny Fisher, and you let Keyshawn Davis slip from your fingers when you could have signed him. Horrendous. I'm convinced that Matchroom don't have any boxing people working for them. It's embarrassing. Keyshawn Davis is arguably the best prospect in America right now. He's up there. He's certainly top three prospects in America. And Eddie just let this guy go from his grasps. He could have signed him. But no. Let's stick with Alan Babish. Fucking Johnny Fisher. Are you serious, man? Clowns. Yeah, I like Chocolatito as well. I eat hamsters. Yeah, Eddie's not doing too well recently. Exactly, Sander, yeah. Anything can happen in heavyweight boxing, but the reality is Fury has all of the tools to make this a boring fight and easy on himself. Yeah, maybe. But to be honest, though, Fury's legs are not what they were to box that sort of fight. So I think Fury will be aggressive again if he's carrying that weight. I'm not sure Fury can move like he used to on the back foot. So that gives White a bit more of a chance to land a big shot. So I don't know. I'll put it to you like this: if it was for Tyson Fury who fought Chisora in that second fight, or Vladimir Klitschko, he plays with Dillian White. He plays with him. But this aggressive come forward Tyson Fury, it does give Dillian White more of a chance to land a Hail Mary punch. I'll say that. I'm still picking Tyson Fury though. No, I don't think Lara trains in Croatia. I think Lara trains in Mexico with Navarrete. Pretty sure. Fury has an old Vladimir from years ago and a bum-ass Wilder. I rate Usyk and Anthony Joshua higher. Yeah, Fury needs to he needs to fight. Exactly, Ovi Hernandez. Exactly. The lower weight classes just has better competition, which makes for better chances of getting good fights made. Exactly. Yeah, Johnny Fisher to become Matchroom's newest cheap undercard filler. Exactly. That's what he is. Oh, yeah, the journey of Johnny Fisher. Yeah. Okay, the guy is called Ali Poor. He is the funder of Probellum and ex-board member of MTK. He also owns 50% of Hennessy Sports as well. He's Indian Irish. So yeah, exactly. It'll be interesting to see where this Probellum thing goes. It'll be interesting. I'm not sure, to be honest. Maybe it's just because he doesn't want to be part of the promotion because he's not getting his desire of in regards to the money. Maybe it's because of the arbitration. He doesn't want to speak before that's done. It could be a whole heap of reasons, but I think the fight will happen. I do think the fight will happen. I like Hatman. I'll be honest. I like Hatman. Yeah, Joe and Ankahass, he's another one. Great fighter. Fun fights all the time. I like Ultra, man. Ultra's hilarious, bro. Oh yeah, the Eubank fight, yeah. Kala Sauerland looked fucked. He looked absolutely fucked. Gassed off his peanut. He looked fucked. That is that hairstyle, bro. It's a proper bowl cut. Proper bowl cut. Oh, so they have a YouTube channel as well. Okay. See, I never knew that. I thought they was on like fucking Spotify or something. See, I don't use Spotify, iTunes, anything like that. I'm old fashioned as fuck. So they do. They have a podcast. I've seen it now. Yeah. Cool. Oh, the Gad. Are you pigeon by any chance, the Gad? Are you pigeon? But if you are, big up to yourself, man. A Blacks, do you rate Ultra Tech Boxing? I think he's so funny. Yeah, I rate Ultra. I was on his channel the other day. I like Ultra. I like Ultra. Oh yeah, Wingy. Yeah, Wingy was good back in the day. Wingy was good. And yeah, Hatman and G-Man I like as well. Yeah, they should fight each other, Joseph. That'd be a good fight. Hemi Ahio versus Junior Farr. That'd be a great fight. Yeah, Stamina for Sale is Tunde Ajayi and Spencer Fearon, I believe. I like Ultra though. See, Ultra, it's not just about spitting boxing knowledge. It's also about entertainment as well. And Ultra is he is probably the most entertaining guy on YouTube when it comes to boxing. And like you said, his technical analysis when he does it is really good. It's spot on. But I like Ultra. Montero is a narcissist shill. Take a shot every time he talks about himself. Another thing, he's a coward, afraid to call things what they are when it comes to PC topics. Yeah, again, like he's one of those guys I take in small doses. I wouldn't watch his shit on the regular. Now and again, I'll watch it if I've got fuck all to watch. But I'm not really. Again, I'm not a fan of that corporate stuff. Not a fan of it. No fade on the guy, but not a fan. Yeah, Chris Andre is one of the best as well. Chris Andre's got a great channel. Yeah, man. We need some good American boxing channels, man. We need some good American boxing channels. Make American boxing great again. I mean, I thought he looked okay in like the first let's say 4 to 6 rounds. He looked pretty sharp, but after that, man, he got a bit ragged. Wasn't hurting Barrios as much. Kind of his punch output dropped. He looked a little bit lethargic. So I don't know, man. I mean, he looked okay, but nothing that indicates that he's going to be a champion again. I think he needs another one of those sort of fights, to be honest. Another tune-up fight, another comeback fight. He's been out of a ring for so long. I think he needs another fight along those lines, along the level of Mario Barrios, just to get himself back into the swing of things, you know. But I mean, I think he's pretty much done at the elite level. Again, I don't listen to H Money. Don't listen to him. See, I like Hatman. He's not uploading quite as regularly now, though, on YouTube. He's more concentrating on Patreon, I guess, which is really good. It's not even boxing, the Patreon. That's what I'm saying, bro. Yeah, Ultra's always entertaining. A bit of Matchroom bashing does no harm. Exactly. Like from a UK perspective, like we keep on getting told Matchroom are the biggest promotional company. Nobody's on their level. So why is it unfair to hold them to a different standard? If they're like the biggest company, a biggest promotional company in the UK, they have the biggest budget, etc., then they should be held to a higher standard. But people get upset when you criticize Matchroom on a regular basis. They get upset. Oh, why are you not criticizing Frank Warren? Well, you guys say that Eddie's on such a different level, so isn't it fair to expect him to be at that different level and offering a better product? And I agree. Eddie is a better promoter. He does have more money. He's got a bigger stable than Frank Warren. So he should be held to a higher standard. It's that simple. It's like saying, oh, fucking Lou DiBella should be held to the same standard as fucking PBC. It's ridiculous. I've heard a lot about Counterpunch. I am subscribed to him, but I've not watched his shit yet. So I need to check him out. H Money's a free smoke platform. Not everybody can take the heat. I mean, I like the idea of free smoke. It's a great idea in principle, but the problem is it just evolves into people shouting over each other. And it's not even an argument. It's just a fucking shouting match. It's not even a debate. That's my problem with these free smoke type of channels. If they were moderated better, it's a great idea. It's a great concept, but they're not moderated well. From what I've seen anyway. That's the problem. See, again, like the YB is a perfect example. He's basically a comedy channel. He doesn't say that, but everyone knows that's what he is. But people take him seriously. It's hilarious. Like what he does very well. He does very well, but he triggers people, man. Like how can people not see through this? Like it's crazy. Yeah, I think Chris Andre is excellent. I really do. You can tell he's got a passion for boxing, and his by the way, his technical breakdowns and things of that nature are very good, very good. Yep, Larry Christmas, Larry Christmas. That haircut's dreadful. Yep, your old Darva. Mid-90s was the last time I had hair. That's the thing, Dave, though. Hatman gets stick because he's honest and says what he thinks. AJ and Matchroom fanboys particularly have something against him. See, that's the thing. Like, on one hand, he gets called a Matchroom fanboy, and on the other hand, he gets called a hater. It's crazy, man. People just they want to hear what they want to hear, and if they don't hear that, they'll label you some sort of fucking. They'll label you something or to some level. That is the boxing community in a nutshell. That's what it is. That's what it is. Outmatch boxing. I've heard the name, but I've never seen them. Big Boys Boxing again covers heavyweight boxing for the most part. Another good channel and another cool bloke as well. Again, his channel should be bigger than it is, as far as I'm concerned. Steven Schneider's not a fan of Ring IQ. I'll be honest, I don't really watch his stuff. I watch the odd video now and again. He is entertaining, but in regards to boxing takes, I think there's better places to go, to be honest. If you want to hear about like the business of boxing and his take on that, good channel, but again, it's not my style. It's not my style, to be honest with you. Not my style. But yeah, shall we alienate ourselves from the entire boxing community? Shall we like go lone wolf, solo wolf, and fuck all these guys off, apart from the odd person? Create some division. Ah, dear. Oh, you mean Filipino channels? You can add subtitles to. They are great. Yeah, some of those Filipino channels. It's funny you say that. They're big. They got some big channels. No, I've not seen Joe Stunner boxing. I've not seen him. I'll have to check him out. Exactly, yeah. Brick Chop is like a cockroach. He'll be around after the fallout of a nuclear war. His lads are getting title shots. Even Callum Johnson was getting one before he got COVID. Exactly, bro. He's still doing his thing. Big Frank. My man got shot in the head, yeah, still walking around, a free man. Big Frank. No, I've never heard of him. I never heard of him. I think it's I'm sure it's Joe Poxton or something Poxton, Craig Poxton, Joe Poxton, James Poxton. Damn, you guys are going in on other boxing channels. I shouldn't really get involved, but I mean Fannon, I mean again, you know, mentally ill. Let's be real here. Mentally ill. You know, I'd love to. I'd love to see like. I'd like to see like a medical study in regards to like different communities on YouTube and mental illness within those communities. I reckon the boxing community would be right up there amongst like the highest mental illness rate among YouTube communities. Because some of these people are fucking crazy. I mean, at this point in time, XMB, I don't think it really makes much of a difference for Khan or Brook, no matter where they train. It's more so about like preparation physically, getting ready, making the weight correctly, etc. That's really what it's going to come down to in this fight, in my opinion. That's really what it's going to come down to. Speak for yourself, W. Camden. Speak for yourself. I'm not a fan. I agree, yeah. I'd like to see Eubank fight in America. Exactly, bro. That's how I see it. Eubank is better at fighting than boxing. I agree. I like Boots. Yeah, I like Boots' punch. I like Boots. I like his style. I like the power. I like the knockouts. He's big. He's strong. He's fast. He's athletic. Defensively, he does make a few mistakes, but time will tell. But he's a threat right now. He's a threat, and he's fighting Custio Clayton next, which is a pretty good fight, by the way. So, yeah, I like Boots. I like Boots, and he seems like a pretty cool guy as well. So I like Boots. I want some fresh blood in the welterweight division. I'm sick of these same fucking guys being branded around. I want Boots to come up. I want Ortiz to come up, you know? I mean, Jazz, you could be right, bro. It's one of those fights. It could be who lands first, who gets hurt first. You know, it's one of those sort of fights. Yeah, Stephen, YouTube now are terrible when it comes to censoring comments. I get a lot of that on the other channel. So many people say, "Oh, where did my comment go? Do you delete comments?" No, I don't delete comments. It's YouTube. YouTube delete a lot of comments. Like I've had Google moderators on the second channel in my live chat when I do like premieres, and they'll delete comments. And these comments aren't even that bad. They're not even like terrible comments. They're a bit risky, but like nothing crazy. YouTube now is like it's fucked. YouTube is fucked now, let's be honest. But there's no other platform which has the same reach. So what can you do? YouTube peaked, I would say, in 2013. After that, it went downhill. Yeah, Joe Goosen training Ryan Garcia. I mean, that split between Ryan Garcia and Eddie Reynoso, I think that Eddie just got sick of a dude. Because Eddie's not going to fuck around and like placate to Ryan Garcia's whims. He's not going to fuck around. Say what you want about Ryan Garcia. Sorry, say what you want about Eddie Reynoso and that gym. They are all consummate professionals. That's one thing. Regardless of PEDs and God knows what else, they are professionals in that gym. And Ryan Garcia never really seemed like a good fit, to be honest. Ryan Garcia needs to be babied, mollycoddled. Eddie's not that guy. I don't think. Eddie's not that guy. And I felt the writing was on the wall when Canelo criticised Ryan Garcia, criticised Ryan Garcia's dedication and commitment. That's when I felt the writing was on the wall. So I'm not surprised by it. I'm a little bit surprised, like the Gad said, I'm surprised he chose Goosen, but I'm not surprised Ryan's left Reynoso. Not at all. Yeah, I mean, I try not to ban people on this chat. Like, I only ban people like fucking. It has to be some heinous shit, either heinous shit or spamming. That's the only reason I'll ban somebody. But I've seen channels where people will ban somebody for literally having a different boxing opinion. It's crazy, bro. It's a silly name, Mr. Ash. It's a silly name. The Zone. DAZN. Yeah, when you tell somebody the name DAZN, they will look at you like a mong. Exactly. All of the objective YouTube boxing channels bring something unique. With you, I feel it's the most un-PC. That rant on Rob Smith was amazing and great coverage of the lower weight divisions. Yeah, I do like a rant now and again, but I can't. I've got to really be up for it when it comes to rants. I've got to be genuinely pissed off, which is like post fight is where I think I do my best rants because it's raw. It just happened, but like like political situations in boxing, I can't really do an effective rant on both situations. But yeah, post fight type of things. That's when my rants are the best, in my opinion. But thank you very much, bro. The GAD. I would do the GAD, but the only problem is I'm not paying for it. So like, if the stream cuts out, I'm fucked. Do you know what I mean? So I probably not, unless I sell out and buy it. Yeah, like the last DAZN fight, which was genuinely a big fight, was probably Canelo Saunders. That was the last like big fight on DAZN, like big fight was Canelo Saunders. What's with the promotion of Matchroom and British fighters in general, trying to appeal to the absolute lowest common denominator? Fisher and his dad look like absolute mongs. Basically, that is what Matchroom are. They appeal to the lowest common denominator. They'll try and appeal to like the football fan audience, lad Bible readers, that sort of thing. You know, yeah, they'll target the casual fan basically who'll watch boxing once in a blue moon. I think it will be late on Nordic. I wouldn't be surprised if Fury stops White, but I think it would be late. I think it would be late. Bro. I had to hit. I had to endure people fucking calling Conor Benn one of the biggest punchers in the welterweight division. This is, by the way, this is on the back of knocking out Chris Algieri, who's been semi-retired for God knows how long, not fought in a minute, hasn't had a top win in ages, closer to 40 than he is 30. Conor Benn knocking that guy out, and people were calling this guy one of the biggest punchers in the welterweight division. And you've got to endure that shit. It's crazy, man. Like, I literally heard people say, "Oh, Conor Benn hits as hard as Boots Ennis, Virgil Ortiz." Bullshit, does he? Bullshit, does he? Put Boots Ennis in with Conor Benn, see what happens. You and I both know he'll get fucking smoked. Smoked like a bag of weed. But I agree, Nordic. Yeah, I've got Fury late stoppage. As of right now, anyway. It's one of those fights for Gad. It's not been signed. It's not official. I think it's one of those fights where, like, the week of that fight, you'd get up for it, kind of thing. I'd watch that fight. See, I'd watch that fight, Nordic. Babbage versus Fisher. I'd watch it. He's another trash can, Nico Ali Walsh. He's not great, is he? He's not as bad as Campbell Hatton, though, I'll say that much. At least Nico can punch a little bit. At least he's got a bit of strength. Yeah, Probellum, yeah. That sounds like a fucking sex gel. It sounds like fucking some sort of fucking lubricant. Probellum, what a stupid name. I've not done MMA training, but I've done Muay Thai, and fucking hell, my legs were done for days. My legs were done for like nearly a week. Like Muay Thai is fun as fuck, man, but it is strenuous on the body. It's strenuous on the body. I don't give a fuck. Yeah, people say boxing's the hardest sport, combat sport. People say MMA's the hardest combat sport. Bro, Muay Thai, man, those guys get paid fucking little to nothing, and they go through a lot, man. They go through a lot. I tried it for a few weeks, man. I enjoyed it, but fuck, I couldn't hack it. I'll be honest. Oh, by the way, I'm way behind in this fucking chat. I've just got a kind contribution from Recognize the Matrix. Much appreciated, bro. Salute, Del Boy. Salute to yourself, man. Salute to yourself. Hopefully you're keeping well, man. Out there in Florida. I'd tell you what, I'd rather be out there than here, man. It's cold, it's dark, it's wet, it's windy. It's fucking grim. It is fucking grim. But much appreciated, man. Hopefully you're keeping well. And thank you for the contribution, bro. Much appreciated, man. Much appreciated. Yeah, wingy boxing wingy, as Ty and Booth would say. Oh, man. Dillian the Shillian shite. YB. Yeah, big up to YB, sorry. Del watches Fino boxing exclusively. There's only 2 reasons I'd watch Fino boxing, and her boxing opinion is not one of them. But, you know, Fino's all right to look at, you know? See, that's what I like. Like, this chat is like, we're not fans of the same channels. Like, there's no clicks here or anything like that, which is what I like. I know Nordic's not a fan. Yeah, honestly, I think give me a 6-week training camp, I reckon I'd beat Harley Ben. He is trash. Richard Poxon, that's the one. Richard Poxon. No, honestly, bro, honestly, I'm not sure whether he got shot in the head, but he definitely got shot in like the ribs, I think in the lung, like a bullet penetrated his lung. So yeah, he done well to survive Frank Warren. And you know what I rate about Frank Warren? Like, he discharged himself from hospital like a day later. And he said, like, I know who shot me, but I'm not going to give him up. I'm not going to grass him up. And he never did. He never went to the police or anything. But like Frank Warren said years later, I know who shot me, but their life's shit right now, and mine's great. What a G, Frank Warren. What a G. You got to respect it. Like, that guy's been through a lot, man, Frank Warren. Say what you want about him, but he's been through a lot. Like, he's a genuine working class dude, came from nothing. Big up to the Quags. Big up to yourself. Much appreciated, man. Glad you're here. Everyone's talking about this Joe Stunner. I need to check him out. Alba Boxing. Okay, I'll check him out as well. Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does need to stop fighting bums. No doubt about it. I do like him, though. I think he's a good fighter. But he's fighting Custio Clayton next, which is a step up. So we'll see how he gets on in that fight. Yeah, Mickinson's a human sacrifice and getting put in a coma against Ortiz. Yeah, I agree. That's another Matchroom sacrifice. But the payday, Cougs, you know, this is life-changing money, Cougs. It's a mismatch, bro. Like, when you have to sell a fight, if you have to sell a fight as being a life-changing payday for your fighter, that probably means it's a shit fight. When that's the first selling point of that fight from Eddie's perspective, well, it's a life-changing payday for Michael McKinson. Bro, he's getting smashed. He's getting smashed to bits. And when did that become a thing in boxing, by the way? To like promoters to openly talk about fighters' purses and how, it's a life-changing payday. They can buy a house, they can do this, they can do that. When did that become a thing in boxing? To sell a fight? Yeah, man, YouTube are fucking me, bro. They must be fucking me. Now, notifications are funny on most channels, to be honest. Yeah, I need to check out Counterpunch Boxing. Yeah, Reynoso told Ryan to leave politely. That's what I think as well. Because he doesn't have... Listen, Ryan's he's a social media star. He's got potential to be a big money generator. But honestly, Eddie Reynoso doesn't need him. He's got Canelo. He's got his other prospects, other fighters. He doesn't need Ryan Garcia. He doesn't need the headache. Say what you want about Reynoso, but he's a boxing man through and through. He's not going to fuck around. He ain't going to fuck around with someone like Ryan Garcia if he's not pulling his weight. Yeah. Anyway, what's up, y'all? Ryan's a talented vagina. Hope he gets knocked out soon. I'd like to see it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Luis Neri, another guy Reynoso let go of because of being undisciplined. Yep. He does have fast feet. I don't think it's even necessarily that he has fast feet, but when he closes for distance, he uses a technique called shifting. So he punches as he steps in each time, if that makes sense. Go on YouTube and look up shifting, like boxing technique. That's what Virgil Ortiz does very well. He's really good at closing distance, cutting the ring off, and punching on the front foot, which is hard to do. It's hard to effectively punch while moving forwards or backwards, but especially going forwards. Virgil Ortiz is very skilled. People just call him like a front foot bully, pressure fighter. He's a lot more than that. Yeah, you know what it is, Brandon. It's for looks. It's for marketing. It's for social media. That's what boxing is now. Yeah, bro, your Lara Josh Warrington rant is how I found your channel. It was so funny and purposeful to me, as authentic as they come. I was so pissed after that fight, bro. I was so pissed when Warrington pussied out of that fight, pulled an Andre Ward and fucking headbutted all over the gaff. Embarrassing, man. Embarrassing. Yeah, Brandon. Speaking of Assange, let me know when you conduct the interview with his wife, because I'll put that out there, bro. I'll put that out there on the second channel as well. I'll try and get people to your direction. Let me know when you do it, bro. But yeah, thanks again, by the way, to recognize the Matrix. And by the way, check out his channel as well. He does live streams on the occasion, and they are always lit. They are always lit. Exactly, yeah. Probellum is petroleum jelly for your bellends, useful when Jeffrey used to bring the girls around. That's what it sounds like, though. Like Probellum, it sounds like some fucking lubricant. I'll put it to you like this, recognize. This is how I put it. As the fight was officiated by the referee, I felt that Jacobs won. However, if the referee did his job, I think Daniel Jacobs should have been deducted a point or two, which then you could have easily seen Ryder winning the fight. So for me, it's one of those. It's a weird one. Honestly, yeah, if the ref did his job, Jacobs would have had a couple of points taken off for excessive holding. And if that was the case, Ryder could have won that fight. But as it was officiated, I gave it to Jacobs, but I don't think it was a robbery like people are saying, to be honest. Yeah, I'm really struggling to like Conor Benn. The way his career is being managed, and the way he's been marketed as a killer is fucking nauseating. Just fight Avanesian. Yeah, exactly. Not even just Avanesian. He could fight other guys at that mid-tier level. It doesn't have to be Avanesian. Like, I liked the Maurice Hooker fight. That was a good fight for him. But obviously, Hooker got injured. So, like, if he fought Kavalauskas next, I wouldn't moan. That'd be a great fight. That'd be a great fight. I don't care whether Kavalauskas is coming off a loss. Yeah, big up to recognize every time. Yeah, if Warren had the same budget as Eddie Hearn, we'd get the big fights. You're probably right. Like Big Frank, he's got more connections than Eddie Hearn. Let's be honest. He's got a better relationship with Top Rank, obviously. He seems to work with the PBC okay. Would probably get better fights, honestly, if Big Frank had Eddie's budget. Call me crazy, yeah. If Frank had Eddie's roster, you're not going to get the same sort of promotion like the flashy lights and all that shit. But you probably get better fights. You'd probably get better fights. Yeah, that fight's going to be more one-sided than a gangbang. Michael McKinson, Virgil Ortiz. Yeah, it's going to be one-sided. Honestly, right now with Ryan Garcia, I'm not convinced that anybody can really turn him. I'm not convinced that anybody can persuade him to be dedicated or be as dedicated as he needs to be, whether it's Eddie Reynoso, Joe Goosen, whoever. I'm not convinced, man. Like, if you can't get motivated by the likes of Canelo, then I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not convinced by Ryan Garcia's mentality. I think physically he's gifted. Like, if Ryan Garcia had even Devin Haney's mindset and dedication, he'd be such a dangerous fighter. Because yeah, Ryan Garcia is technically raw, but he's got raw talent. So hand speed, power, explosiveness, decent timing. If a world class trainer got hold of him and he had the right mindset, he could be a hell of a fighter. But I don't think he's got that mindset. I don't think it really matters who trains him right now. I really don't. I really don't. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, Ryan needs somebody who would pay more attention to him. That is a good point, though. I do get what you're saying. Like, he needs somebody to solely focus on him, not a guy with a big stable where he's got to divert his attention to other guys. I know what you're saying. He needs to be basically monitored, and yeah, he needs the attention. I know what you're saying. He needs to feel like he's number one in the gym, basically. Whereas in the Reynoso gym, he was number two, number three, kind of thing. Yeah, I get that. I get that. I can see that. Call me crazy. I do see some similarities between Virgil Ortiz and Golovkin. Not completely. I think obviously Golovkin's much more effective with his jab, for example. and he's better at counterpunching on the front foot. But I do see some similarities in terms of the shifting. How even when he's not throwing punches, he's always making you think as he's coming forwards. He's making you burn energy both mentally and physically. I do see some similarities. I've never done that shit. What will happen to when Wilder does it? Fuck knows. But listen, bro, I wouldn't want to be around Wilder if he's on fucking hallucinogenics, whatever they're fucking called. I wouldn't want to be around him if he starts fucking wimmling and swinging around. Probably get knocked the fuck out. Potentially, yeah, that's a good point, Will Stokes. Yeah, if Jacobs had been deducted a point, though, then he would have stopped holding as much moving forwards. Yeah, that is true. But the reality is, the referee should have done something in regards to the holding, in my opinion. In my opinion. I will watch that, George C. I'll definitely give that a watch. Madchad says Brian Castano is going to bust up Jamel Charlo in the rematch. I'm not making my official prediction, but I've got a weird feeling that Castano is going to walk into something big this time around. Just a hunch. I'm not basing it on anything. Just a hunch. I might change my mind nearer the time though, so don't take it as like an official prediction. But I've got a feeling right now. I've got a feeling that Castano is going to walk onto something big. Maybe even a controversial stoppage. Yo, recognize. I saw that loads as well. Oh, this is why American fighters don't fight abroad. Bro, it happens everywhere, man. It happens in America as much as anywhere else. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's crazy. But yeah, I saw that, bro. I saw that. And Britain is bad, by the way. Britain is bad. I've said that more than most people. More than most British boxing uploaders. I always shit on British judges, but you know, it's one of those things. It happens. It happens, unfortunately. And it mainly happens in the UK and USA. Yeah, they won't. Colin says they won't put Ben in with a puncher just yet. I don't think it's a chin issue, but he gets hit a bit too easy at times. Yeah, could be right. Could be right. Although Conor Ben has been down twice before against Pinard, so we shall see. Time will tell. Time always reveals all. Crowley would be very good. He'd be a very good opponent for Conor Ben. That would be a great opponent. I'd love to see it. See, again, I'm not asking like for the world. I'm not asking the world from Conor Ben. I'm not asking him to fight Errol Spence or Ugas or fucking Terence Crawford. Just somebody like that. Somebody with ambition. Cody Crowley would be fine. Maurice Hooker, David Avanesian, Aegis Kavalauskas. These sort of guys. Best Bootin. Anyone, Rashidi Ellis. These sort of guys. I'm not asking Conor Ben to fight fucking King Kong. I don't mind MMA, Vagad. I don't mind it. I did a live stream with the Whitaker fight online this weekend. 1.7K watching my silly self do commentary. Fair play, bro. Fair play. Exactly, yeah. Any of these mid-tier guys would do for Conor Ben. Avanesian is probably the number one choice, followed by Kavalauskas. He needs to fight somebody with a pulse. No more faded champions from the 2010s. Exactly, bro. Yeah, those olderish Mexican dudes don't play the mental health or depression games, nor do they like that trying to be a model thing. Exactly, I can imagine. Especially the likes of Eddie Reynoso, who didn't really come from money, to my knowledge. He never really came from money. He came from modest beginnings. Like, those guys are not going to play that game. They're not going to play that game. You're a fighter. Eddie, I've got to leave the gym today. I've got an Instagram shoot I've got to do. You think Eddie's going to put up with that shit? Probably not. Probably not. Yeah, that is the thing with Frank Warren. He can pull out the great main event now and again, but his undercards are trash. His undercards are trash. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. Yeah, probably right. He needs to change his ways and dedication to the sport. Yeah, I think Ryan right now, man. I don't trust the guy at all. In a few years' time, he'll be on those little highlight reels. Boxing's biggest waste of talent, and Ryan Garcia will be on there. I'm convinced of that. I've seen all I need to. He's not given me any reason to think that he'll change his ways. But I do think the funny thing is, though, I do think he's talented. He is talented. Reynoso will drop Ruiz next. You've heard it here first. We shall see. We shall see. The West are baiting Russia to take. The West are baiting Russia to bite the bullet, but all they are doing is driving Russia closer to China. Yeah, that whole situation again. I've not really been paying attention to it. Whatever mainstream media tells me, I kind of just phase out and don't listen to. If I want to, I'll do my own research on that situation. Okay, 23rd. I planned on interviewing Assange's family, but it will be a pleasure interviewing his wife. Yeah, that should be good, man. Let me know how you get on, and let me know once it's live, and I'll try and point people in the direction of it. Ben's matchmaking itself has actually been good. I think. Remember, he had no amateur experience that's worth anything. It's just that they market him in a way that makes people expect more. That's the double-edged sword, though. That is the double-edged sword. You know, if you're marketing a guy a certain way, I mean, 2 or 3 fights away from a world title. Well, if that is the case, then I mean, Van Heerden, a shot Chris Algieri, surely we should be expecting better. I mean, Anthony Yard, he never had any amateur background. What was he doing by his 17th fight? He was fighting Sergey Kovalev and put in a good performance. You know? And I don't like the David Avanesian narrative. It's like Conor Benn and Eddie Hearn says, "Oh, who is David Avanesian? He's a nobody. He does nothing for us." What does fucking Chris Van Heerden do? What does he do? I mean, it's kind of crazy. I get you. Like, in terms of matchmaking a prospect, the matchmaking has been good, but when you market a guy a certain way, then I think it's fair to expect a certain step up. Yeah, I wonder if Ruiz is kind of done. I think he was shocked by the way his chin was after dropping the weight. That's a good point. I mean, I'd like to see Andy Ruiz in with Wilder next. I think that fight makes perfect sense. Andy Ruiz, Deontay Wilder. Brilliant fight. Basically, it's loser leaves town. Be an amazing fight. Yeah, Frank's undercards can double up as a cure for insomnia. They go on for hours usually with little to minimal action to get excited about, with John Rawling and Richie Woodhall doing the drabbest commentary. Yeah, it's like a funeral. It's like a funeral, man, those BT shows. But yeah, like Frank, listen, Frank he still needs to up his game. He still needs to up his game in terms of like the regular BT shows. Yeah, he's got Tyson Fury White coming up, but still, he needs to up his game. Yeah, Furman would knock out Khan. He would knock out Khan XNB. Anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this one up. It's been a bit of a long one, so yeah. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Yeah, I'll try and do a few more videos this week. We shall see. And yeah, man, have a good week. Stay safe. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. And yeah, happy Valentine's.